It's fine. Their center for volcano, small smoke, white smoke. You see there?
Yeah.
This
I see
side.
it. Yeah, I see it.
Small smoke up a little bit in the ground. There's this side. Look. You see here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah,
this.
I read about this. Yeah.
Here no dangerous. You can take a picture after. You can come walk. Understand?
Okay.
From Lagoon, we close this. It's no go there. Okay?
Understood. Yeah.
This. Okay. For a swim, this side. You need hotel, huh?
Yes.
We will finish swim and go. You see here?
Silica.
Silica Hotel. You're welcome, guys.
Silica Hotel. Finally here.
Oh, that was strange. But...
So grab this from the airport. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. No, I lied. I'm gonna try. Fajedra. You know what? I'm giving up. That's dark chocolate, edamame beans, fava beans, and dates. See how this tastes. Well, it's morning time. Heading down to go get some breakfast. I'd show you what's out the window, but it's kind of the same. Nothing's really changed. This is where we were yesterday. Look at this spread. Oh, that's so dope. Walking around Reykjavik. Hey! You know, the one thing I will say about Reykjavik is it's so cloudy and cold. It feels like kind of dreary, really. But it's such like a sparse city. Like, there's not a lot. The Ministry of Infrastructure just passing by. Oh my god, it's so cold. I should have packed my beanie. Holy shit, it's cold. So windy. Golly. Just take this all the way down. Get to see the church. That's my lovely park. Statue. What's it say? What's it say? I actually think that's his backside. Maybe I'll check him out on the way back. You got ads for nice warm water, which is kind of where I wish I was. I wish I was by some warm water right now. Oh, okay, going right. Go left, go right. Oh, lovely street art. And a subway. Skólavörður. Smells like fish, actually. Bubble tea. It literally had like a rainbow road. Go down. Kind of cool. Down the road. It's a cool castle-looking thing. You don't really see that. Stained glass and whatnot. Look, if you keep going down the road, kind of goes towards the church we're heading to. What? That's the name of a road? Huh. Okay. Way to go, Reykjavik. Oh, look at that. Looky that. Coming up. There's the church. Reykjavik Roasters. Here we go. Well, coffee acquirement was a success. Now I gotta see if I can make this bus so that I can make the show. So there's no guarantee that I'll make the bus. Here's the bus. Tuck. Just making my way to the lobby show. I love public transportation, even though it can get delayed at times. Aurora, Reykjavik. And there we go, lava show. Let's check out some live lava. Whee! There's a free shuttle. Oh my god, I missed the free shuttle. Why did I pay?
It's very distracting for the hosts, but it's also unpleasant for the people opposite you who are being blinded by the light. So if you aren't taking any photos, just make sure that flash is turned off. You can do it right now if you want. I'll remind you of that again later. The only other thing is to ask questions. So towards the end of things, I'll open it up to the audience, and if you've got any questions whatsoever, you can ask me. I will do my very best to answer them. Bearing in mind I am a teacher, so if I reach the limit of my knowledge, I will do what all teachers do. I will make it up, but I'll say it very convincingly. Anyway, one more thing, and that is to meet this guy. Round of applause, please, for our lava melter. All right, this handsome fella is Gabor. He's our melter today, that's why he's wearing this ridiculous-looking suit. And it does look silly, admittedly, but it is necessary, because he's operating a furnace back there, currently running about 1300 Celsius. He's just about to pour lava out of it while standing right beside it, and then, this is where he really needs the suit, he's going to go around behind the furnace, he's going to open up the door, and start hand shoveling in the hardened lava from the last show to get remelted again. That fully exposes it to the blast of heat that comes from there. Oh, flash there in the background, thanks. So you can see how it just lights up the room as soon as it comes in through the hole in the wall. There we go, it's just coming down to the ice there. So you see the bubbling reaction there where it hits the ice. Sorry, you've got your flash on there in the front row as well, thanks. Let's pass over. You can see as well just how fluid that lava is. And when lava is this fluid in nature, when it comes to the edge of a mountainside and goes over that edge, the wind can get a chance to catch it. And you get these lovely features called Pelle's hairs. So I'll make a few of these for you just now. So these are Pelle's hairs. They're super fine strands of lava. And they cool really quickly in the air, as you can see. They form these lovely glassy threads. And the geologists, they absolutely love finding these, because they're actually quite hard to come by in nature. Because they're so fragile, they tend to get broken apart very easily, and they get blown away by the wind. So that's why the geologists love finding them. Farmers here in Iceland, on the other hand, well, they're not quite so keen on these. Because those glassy fibres, they get into the grass that the animals eat. That messes up their stomachs. So that's why in Icelandic they've actually got a different name. They're called Nornahaur in Icelandic. That means witches' hairs. Alright, so you can see that the flow of lava on the surface here now has pretty much come to a halt. It's not really moving at all, but you can see that there's molten lava flowing out from underneath all of that. Now that's a kind of important point, and we'll come back to that shortly. Right now though, I have a block of ice down here. Do you want to see what happens when we stick ice on the lava?
Yeah.
Yes, of course you do. Stupid question. Alright, so we'll just drop this onto the channel around about here. Apply a little bit of pressure to that. Well, by doing that, some of the steam from the ice is just going straight up in the air, but some of it is getting pushed down into the lava, and it can actually cause the lava to inflate. Now, the reaction can be a little bit delayed, so you might not see the bubbling happening until a little bit later on, but you should see something happening as the show goes on. You can see right now that where the ice has been, already it's forming a lovely solid crust on the surface there. Even down at the front, although the ice hasn't reached that far, you can see it's crusting over well there too, but if we get in underneath all of that, so, you see that underneath there, it's still beautifully molten. And you probably felt that wave of heat as well once I flipped it. And that is happening because lava is in fact a tremendously good insulator of heat. It doesn't actually transfer heat well through itself at all. So when it does form a crust on the surface, it keeps what's underneath that really hot for a really long time. In fact, I can dig back in here again just now and I can still get Pelle's hair out of that, just about at least. Now it is getting a little bit more viscous at this point, and you can actually tell that just by the colour. So that hotter lava that I was drawing up there, you can see it's a much brighter yellow. But as that begins to cool down, it kind of fades more to orange and then to red and then fully down to black, as you see there. If I drag the pole over that surface now, you can see it's forming a nice kind of skin on the top. And the skin is responsible for these features here, these ripples on the slime. So that's what's known as ropey texture, or ropey pahoi. And you get it happening anywhere in nature where there's been fluid lava like this. So as it begins to cool and forms the skin on top, the hotter lava underneath that keeps on flowing, like I was showing you here at the beginning. That'll drag that skin along behind it, and eventually when the surface fully cools, the ripples just get locked in place, and you can see the direction of the lava flow. And you can see fantastic examples of it all around the country if you keep your eyes open. There's a really nice one actually. If you go to Thingvellir National Park, there's a lookout point there, and it's right there on the ground beside you. Beautiful big ropey strands of lava. That's ropey texture or ropey pahoi. It's just fun to see. Alright, so they get in underneath this just now. I can show you the underside of that. There we go. Again, you can see that the underneath is still staying really quite molten, still oozing and dripping. Check for the folks on the other side too. Equal opportunities. There we go. And again, you're probably getting that wave of heat as I lift it. And because it is still so molten underneath still, will actually allow me to do some other fun things too. So if I get in underneath the channel here, and just gently lift that up, like so. I can actually form a kind of bridge out of it. There we are. Beautiful. Now what that can do is it can allow, if there's any liquid lava still inside, it can allow it to flow down the back. And if we're lucky, we can even get a little lava tunnel forming in there. Let's see if I can get in underneath all of this stuff here. You see it underneath there. That's actually remaining quite gooey and liquid. So these lava tunnels, I'll explain how they form later. But you see that's holding its own shape now. It's still flexible on the inside because it's still so molten. But the outer shell is holding it all together really well. Now at this point, I'm going to start clipping some safety guards onto the slide beside me here. And the reason we're doing that is because we're pouring the lava onto a steel slide. And the steel expands really quickly with the heat as soon as the hot lava hits it. Very quickly, everything, lava and steel, all begin to cool down and to contract. And they contract at different rates. And so when the steel contracts, it actually pressurizes the lava sitting on top of it. And it's going to relieve that pressure by just popping and cracking. So you are likely to hear some pretty loud cracks and bangs coming from the slide here as the show goes on. So I just take this and drop that on there like so. Bam. Instantly ignites. And that's the coldest part, like I said. Cold is relative. We'll see how cold it is. So I've got one of these infrared thermometers here. So I'll take a few temperature readings and show you what the situation is here. So if I take the surface of that coldest section, surface temperature there, 497 Celsius, 927 Fahrenheit. But that is just on the surface. If I get through the crust, which I should be able to achieve without too much difficulty. There we go, get inside there. And inside there, jumping up here, 723 Celsius, 1333 Fahrenheit. And I did not have to go far down into that lava at all to get that big jump in temperature. You see the difference in the colour right away. Now, that is a very important point because we do see a lot of people coming to Iceland and doing some fairly questionable things. There are whole Facebook groups dedicated to this actually. There's one called Stupid Things People Do in Iceland. Some of you might be on it. But one of the things that we see people doing all too often is going out walking on freshly cooled lava. And it's a really bad idea for many reasons, but one is what I just showed you there. The lava might have cooled to a crust on the surface, and that's, it might be black in colour, it might even be cool to the touch. All well and good, but you have to remember that lava is an incredibly good insulator of heat. So you can have incredibly hot or even still molten material directly underneath that surface crust. And you've got no idea how thick or thin the crust is. You could easily be walking on a section of months-old lava, dislodge a piece of something, and next thing you know, you've got red hot stuff in your feet. And aside from that, there's the risk of lava tunnels, which they find all over the place. Now, the ancient ones, the biggest problem there is just falling in and never being found again. But the more recent ones, you've got the problem of heat as well. So, for example, they found lava tunnels at the 2021 lava field at Hallgrimskirkja. It's cracked down here. Here we go. Just be quite gentle. Again, I don't want pieces of lava flying off here. There we are. Just about managed to get that to separate. You see how that's actually still attached. I'm just going to grab my tongs here and take this out to show you. I would use my hands, but yeah, you do it once, yeah, exactly. There we go. There's some lovely medium rare lava there for you. Just the way I like it. You're only actually going to get the glow from lava if it's still over 600 Celsius. So when the temperature comes down below 600, it's not able to release the energy as visible light. It is still releasing heat, but just as infrared, which we can't see. And it will lose the heat from the surface to the air very quickly. This is what catches people out. So I show you that piece that I just took out a few seconds ago. You can see how much that's dimmed down in colour already. It's not quite black yet, but it's well on the way. Whereas the bit that was right beside it there, you can see it glowing away there. In fact, I probably won't be able to break that. You see how bright the glow is on the inside of that. That's just because it's better insulated. There we go. Just managed to get it off there. There we are. And that effect I'm showing you, and the fact that it is actually still quite soft in the middle, that is a good explanation of how lava tunnels form. So you get these happening when you've got a wider and deeper flow of lava than we have here. But the same thing applies. It's going to cool fastest on the outside, like that did, where it's in contact with the air. The rate of cooling is going to be roughly about 100 degrees Celsius lost per kilometre that the lava. that does not much resemble that stuff. In fact, it much more closely resembles glass, exactly. And the reason for that is, it's glass. It's volcanic glass. Now, that volcanic glass, though, is chemically identical to those columns, and yet looks completely different. So why is that? Well, it's all down to the rate of cooling. Okay, so when lava is cooling naturally, it cools down very slowly. And when it's cooling slowly enough, it's able to do what it really wants to do, which is to make very specific bonds with certain elements within itself. It likes to kind of pick and choose what it bonds with to make these really complicated rock crystal structures and eventually form solid rock like that. But if it's cooling really quickly, like our lava is, it doesn't get the time to do that. And instead, it kind of goes into panic mode. It's going to just grab the first thing it can easily get hold of to make a solid with. That's going to be the main ingredient of the lava. And the main ingredient of basaltic lava like this is silica, at 47%. And silica being what window glass is made of, the whole thing just ends up looking like glass. This type of volcanic glass, it does have a name. Some of you think you know what it is, you go, yeah, yes, I know that name, that is obsidian. Well, it's not, because you can't make obsidian from basalt. It's the wrong kind of rock. What we've got here is actually called tachylite. That's the basaltic volcanic glass. So to be obsidian, we would have to have started with a different kind of rock called rhyolite. And the difference between the basalt and the rhyolite is the silica content. So I told you 47% for this stuff, which sounds like a lot. But for lava, that's the low end of things, what we call mafic lava. The other end of the scale, that's where you're going to get the other type of lava, what they call felsic lava. And given that it is glowing, that is telling us all that it is still well over 600 Celsius, exactly. And it's actually going to stay that way for quite some time. So although we're only pouring a fairly small amount of lava in the show here, we're pouring maybe 50 litres of lava. And you compare that to the last eruption we had here in July of last year, it produced 32 million cubic metres of lava. So this is just a droplet by comparison. But even so, that little droplet, if I wanted it to get down to room temperature and just left it sitting as it is right now, you'd be waiting for 2 days. It really does lock the heat in incredibly well. I can illustrate this for you quite nicely as well, actually. Any of you been down to the Blue Lagoon? Yeah? Or planning to go there? On your way there, I don't know if you noticed that the road that you were driving on was steaming ominously. That's because lava's actually flowed over that road a number of times since all this activity began in the area. And in order to get bodies back into the Blue Lagoon again, because money, what they've done is they've piled a whole load of tephra and other volcanic material onto the surface of that hot lava. So you have to be an insulating barrier that you can drive across. But my point here is don't stop and go out for a walk, because the lava underneath that is actually still quite hot. But it's not even from the most recent eruption, the one back in July. It's from the previous November, and it's still hot. And that's not even a big depth of lava. If you go to Fagradalsfjall, where we had that 2021 eruption, that filled up a valley with lava. The central part of that valley is still molten to this day, and will be for the next 10 or 20 years. And to cool the whole thing all the way through is going to take literally hundreds. It's quite amazing. Alright, you cannot sink in lava. It's impossible. So molten rock is 3 times denser than water. We're mostly water. It's physically impossible for a human being to sink in lava. This is great news. Yes, Gollum. Okay, right. So all these movies you've seen where people fall into lava, and go, oh, that's nonsense. So Gollum, Lord of the Rings, what should happen there is that he should actually just fall splat onto the surface of the lava. Maybe have a few seconds to get to his feet, dance around a bit, and kind of go, oh, it burns! It burns! It's precious! And then, but he wouldn't sink. So if you wanted to, technically, you could actually walk out on molten lava and it would just bounce under your feet. I don't recommend you try that, but if you choose to, that's what we call natural selection. Anyway, did you enjoy yourselves today?
Yeah!
Excellent. Thank you all very much indeed for coming along. Thank you. And if you did enjoy the show and you want to leave us a nice review on Google or TripAdvisor, I always appreciate that. So if you had a fun time, my name was Ian. If you didn't have fun, my name was Gabor. Thank you all very much for coming. Enjoy the rest of your time in Iceland. Thank you.
Well, that was fun. Great lava show. Really informative. So, the guy Ian, basically, don't want to get hit by a car. Ian was saying walk out to any location, pick up any stone in the outskirts. Basically, it's going to be like lava stone. I'm not saying I'm going to get any of it. I'm just saying any stone you rock by, pretty much lava. So, do with that in my brain what it will. I just got to make my way back to the Harpa, which is like 40 minutes one way. Hopefully I make it there before the bus leaves. Just like go down to the roundabout. And then, yeah. See how far this takes me. Still making my way towards, oh God. Towards the Harpa. Just gotta go towards that building, I guess. I think it's down this road. Or maybe it's the other one. But you know what this reminds me of? Reykjavik is basically like if a container or like a dock kind of a place became a city. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hey. It's a pretty cool looking statue. Alright. Slipperin. Entrance on the other side. Restaurant bar. Okay. Let's try this. Warmer. That was interesting. It's like I sucked a tree. Really interesting. Still making my way to the bus. Wow, that's fast and scary. And it's like, at least there's a sidewalk. That was interesting. Whew. As far as alcohol goes, not that bad. Pretty good. Passing by a lot of restaurants right now. I wish I could stop by. I just gotta make it to the bus stop, my guy. I think that's a steakhouse. Steakhouse. Probably a steakhouse. Making my way downtown, walking fast, housing past, and I'm homebound. That's probably not the lyrics. I'm just seeing how long it takes for this wood liquor to kick in. They do have a fast metabolism, get buzzed rather quickly. Taking a tour out of information office. Oops, so sorry. Keep going down, I guess. Interesting. Pretty cool sculptures. And there's the Harpa. Hopefully my bus didn't leave, because that would really suck. Sorry. You know, all these like huge kind of rocks. It's really cool looking. Kind of makes it feel like it's dragonstone, but you know, not the color, right? Pretty cool looking. Oh, there's a bus. Okay. Bus didn't leave. Yay. like lava flow over the road and they just repaved it.
This is old one. This is about 1,000 years ago.
God. That's crazy.
It is.
Look at this terrain. That beautiful sky. So walk into Blue Lagoon. It's so cold right now. You can't tell temperature on the video. It's so cold. The color of the water. It's kind of like a milky blue. Gatorade. Yeah, you know. It's a little paler than the blue milk that they have in Star Wars.
It's like literally if you took sky blue and combined it into milk, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, see the bottom of this gradient when you're looking at the sky? This is what
So it's like
yeah, it's like it kind of matches. You can kind of like look at it this way. But yeah, apparently like that cloudiness is from the minerality and the high silica content of the water. Oh, down this way another third of a mile. Volcanic rock. Technically surrounded by lava. Lava on both sides. Well, this is what comes after the lava. For all we know, we could be walking on lava. It's just really nicely made. I don't know. It could be all lava. This is kind of gorgeous, but it's also so scary. My phone is like less than a few inches above the water. Oh, the steam coming. The sky is gorgeous. Healing waters. So where are we going? We're going there. That's the steam room. It's such a long traverse. That's the bar where you get your face mask. That's a steam room that's what you can see. Or a cold bath. This is the steam room. That you cannot see out of. There's no way I'm putting my foot in there. Change my mind. There's no way to go through that.
Where you're going?
There's a familiar face. Hello, friend. I'm going to put my phone up because this is mad scary.
It's terrifying,
It's
isn't
so
it?
terrifying. You don't want this to drop in the water. So second day at Blue Lagoon, done. Hey. Off to the gift shop. My hair is a mess. Wow. Oh, they ain't lying when they say it does heck for your hair. That is like really mineralic water. Mineral rich water.
What do you want to see?
That face is not because I have a bad idea. It's a cute idea. Oh, it's go. 1, 2. Ah. So I can go.
Let me know if it works.
I have no idea. Outside the airport. What is that?
Oh, and I'm not so hard of it.